Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Fuller, and as Chair of the Board, I welcome you to this January 6th, 2026 regular meeting of the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. Shelby Rockwick, our August coordinator, will describe how our meetings operate, how to access the agenda packet, and how people may participate remotely. Shelby.
There are multiple ways to make public comment during today's board meeting, whether you are joining us in person or virtually. If you are here in person and would like to make public comment, please fill out our sign-in sheet now. If you are joining us virtually, we will ask you to raise your hand at the appropriate time in the agenda. And now I'll turn it over to Chair Fuller.
Thank you, Shelby. I now call this January 6th, 2026 regular meeting to order and ask Shelby to call the roll.
Chair Barb Fuller.
Present.
Vice Chair Rod Green.
Present.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Present.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Present.
The following directors are in attendance. Managing Director Matt Washtenaw. Director of Engineering and County Highway Engineer Brent Schlack. Director of Operations Adam Leap. Director of Finance Dan Ackerman.
Please join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So move.
Second.
Additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, Shelby, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the agenda is approved as presented. We have one set of minutes to accept today. May I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes of December 16th, 2025, pages 3 through 12. Motion, please.
So moved. Support.
Additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, Shelby, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the December 16th, 2025 minutes are accepted as presented. I don't see our county commissioner liaison with us at this time. Is that correct, Tiffany?
You are correct, Madam Chair.
All right, we will move on to public comment. This is a time set aside on the agenda to receive comments from the public. This is not intended to be a period for dialogue. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes to address the board, and Shelby will explain how people may be recognized to offer comments.
Since this is a hybrid meeting with both in-person and virtual attendees, we will take turns between those attending in person and virtually. For virtual attendees, we have provided some instructions on the screen on how to participate and make public comment. If you're attending this meeting virtually and would like to make public comment, please raise your hand now. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. Our communications manager, Tiffany Oliphant, will unmute virtual participants with raised hands one at a time and will announce your username or last 4 digits of your phone number when it's your turn to speak. Please share your name and address before beginning your comments. For in-person attendees, we will start with those of you who have signed up on the sign-in sheet as you walked in. If you haven't signed in, you are still welcome to make comment. We will notify you when it's your turn.
Thank you. Ms. Oliphant.
Yes, we have, I think we have 2 public comments. I have one virtually and one in person, I believe. Ms. Alice, would you like to make public comment? Okay, walk up to the front there.
Microphone, please.
And the microphone and say your name and address for the record.
My name is Alice Michalyanka, and I reside at 7493 Dell Road. The first issue that I would bring up is that Weber Road and Dell Road has never been a great intersection. It has one stop sign on Weber, and there have been 2 new houses built, and it could use a 4-way stop for safety purposes because the houses block the visibility to see what's coming on Dell Road, and it is basically a blind turn if you're going west on Weber to make a turn onto Dell. The visibility, you used to be able to look up a hill, now you can't. And you cannot see what is coming from Dell going south.
So Dell southbound is where the blind spot is?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm trying to make a note here. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's okay. And the other thing, which, and it's probably a huge thing, but I know that Lodi Township was told at least 20 years ago that they needed to consider putting money into paving the entirety of Dell Road, basically from Zeeb on down to US 12 and Austin to alleviate traffic over on, I believe it is Saline Ann Arbor Road, which is quite congested, and then also Parker Road, which is a heck of a detour if you are trying to get across town. And with this new development that is supposed to go over in Saline Township, which is right on that area near Dell Road, it could be possible to look at improvements and in fact paving the entirety of Dell Road, because as soon as you paved Zeeb to Pleasant Lake, the traffic increased exponentially. So I recognize that this is something that the township has to get on board. Possibly the state needs to give grants, but it is something that they were told to do. And it is something that, given how much construction and how much new development has occurred, this old dirt road is no longer serviceable. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for your comments.
I actually have Justin Perkins. I'm going to ask you to unmute. 1 second. Go ahead. Justin, can you hear us? You have your hand raised. Can you hear us? I'm going to give you one more. There you go. Can you hear us? Okay. I don't know if Justin is having an issue. He had his hand raised
now
and
he
his
doesn't.
microphone is unmuted.
Something's working.
So I'm going to move on now. Justin, we were trying to give you a chance, but okay, we're going to move on now and mute him now, if you don't mind, Madam Chair.
Please proceed.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Madam Chair. He's not there.
What do you want me to go ahead to do?
No, move forward with the,
Who else would like to address the board? Has
No
anyone
one.
else?
oh
signed
no,
up?
he raised his hand again. I'm going to try this again. Go ahead, Justin, if you can. Can you hear us, Justin?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes, there you go.
You
Okay,
know?
go ahead, Justin.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. I'll try to go quickly. Thank you for taking comments and for your service to the community and serving on the commission. My name is Justin Perkins. I live at 6081 Werkner Road in Chelsea, Michigan. I'm a resident of Washtenaw County and an engineer. The stretch of road where I live is being evaluated for pulverizing, repaving, and widening. The stated goals of the projects are to increase safety, but I'm here to speak with you today to express data and research-backed concerns that I have regarding the safety impacts of the proposed project. In short, the data and research suggest that widening the road, especially the shoulders, will actually reduce safety for this specific stretch of road. The reason for that is fourfold. Number one, the types of safety incidents that have occurred in recent history on this road are not the same types of incidents that adding shoulders improves. Adding shoulders is effective at reducing head-on and sideswipe collisions, but these are not the types of incidents that occur on Werkner. In the 5-year period from 2020 to 2024, on the stretch of Werkner where I live, which is the proposed construction site, there were 5 crashes and all were single vehicle collisions with deer, so unrelated to other traffic. Number 2, safety needs to consider automobile, pedestrian, and cyclist safety. While the street is not currently safe for pedestrian traffic, it's also not appealing to pedestrian traffic because there's no shoulder. Therefore, there's a low volume of pedestrian traffic. And for
Justin,
new
you
pedestrian
went out.
traffic, and this creates an opportunity for safety incidents that does not exist today. And we call this the creation of a foreseeable hazard in the engineering field. Third, wider shoulders create the perception of a more forgiving road for motorists, and this results in higher speeds. This doesn't necessarily mean more collisions or crashes, but it means that the severity of those crashes worsens. This phenomenon has been carefully studied by the Federal Department of Transportation, specifically in 2-lane rural road contexts like Werkner Road, and this can be found in a 2015 report called Factors Influencing Operating Speeds and Safety on Rural and Suburban Roads in Chapter 6, titled Safety Effects of Land Width Shoulder with Combinations in Rural 2-Lane Roads, just like Werkner. And finally, the road is already very safe by its own statistics and crash records, so the opportunity to improve it is very, very small. By contrast, the opportunity to make it less safe is very large. I would ask that the commission please reevaluate on a technical basis the safety effects of adding 6-foot shoulders. The data overwhelmingly suggests that this widening increases vehicle speeds, increases crash severities, and induces pedestrian foot traffic, creating foreseeable hazards that do not exist today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments. Tiffany, anyone else?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. We will move on to written communications. They appear on pages 13 through 16 of the packet. Commissioners, anything you wish to draw our attention to?
Madam Chair, on page 16, there's a letter of thank you to Matt McDonough from Rex Clary, appreciating the work that was done, I think, in the area of Campus Parkway. The Road Commission was very efficient in removing the snow, and we thank you for the letter.
Yes, that was actually the Saline Schools representative. So that was very nice to receive that. Yes.
Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? Commissioner McCollum?
Madam Chair, on page 15, the first one from Jessica West to Aaron Burkholz about thank you for appreciating the efforts, what he helped out with. And Shelley to Washtenaw County Road Commission from Shelley, I think it's polite, thanking the road commission about removing snow and things like that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else to draw our attention to at this time, we will move on to road commissioner comment and staff follow-up to public comment. Commissioners. Commissioner McCollum?
Madam Chair, I'd like to thank Alice for her information on the roads and her area and noticing something that is possible that needs to be looked at because it may be dangerous and to be proactive. So thank you for that. And I'd like to thank Justin Perkins for his information on Workner Road and also the 2015 research that he looked at about influencing traffic. And I'd just like to thank the comments that were made.
All right. Commissioner Green?
Yes, I had a question regarding the comments made by Mr. Perkins regarding that widening the road would create a safety hazard. That sounds a little difficult for me to comprehend. Is that a possibility? If our managing director could address that.
Certainly. I can speak to Working Road. Specifically, we did look at the shoulder width. Initially, we were proposed at 6 feet, meaning 4-foot paved shoulders, 2-foot gravel shoulders. We've since reviewed that with our engineering team and also our consultant. In fact, we had a meeting just yesterday where we're going to reduce the shoulder width down to 4. So 2-foot paved, 2-foot gravel. That for a number of reasons. Trying to be certainly aware of safety issues that could get created, wider road widths. There's an argument that could be made for higher speeds, although that speed is a prima facie road, so it is at 55 miles an hour already. But we certainly want to be context sensitive and also looking at the volume of on that road. It's lower than Worker Road north of 52. The volumes suggested that we could essentially narrow the shoulders to 4 foot. So that's what we're working with the design team on. That will have a smaller impact, but there still will be an impact. Certainly some of the trees that are very close to the side of the road that in that shoulder currently, that is a safety hazard. Obviously, the crashes were raised. There were single vehicles. We too have noted there are deer crashes there within the last 5 years. Certainly that is a concern. Oftentimes, drivers, when trying to avoid a deer collision, will veer, even though they're instructed not to. Your instincts take over, and sometimes that veering can allow for moving off of the travel way and onto the shoulder. And certainly we do not want someone to make a mistake like that and pay with their life. So therefore, there are going to be tree removals as part of that, but we're trying to be less impactful by narrowing that shoulder width. So we're working with our design team. We have put notice out over the end of the month, over the holidays, that we publicize. There will be 2 public information meetings. The first one is on February 9th. I believe that's 11 a.m. That's our virtual. Thank you, Tiffany, for putting it on the screen. That's our virtual public meeting. There'll be a presentation. And then to follow that up, there'll be an in-person at the City of Chelsea offices in their council chambers at the police station there, where we'll have an in-person meeting on February 11th. And that will be at 6 p.m. So we'll have 2 opportunities for people to hear about the project and to get input as well. So that's where we're at. Certainly there'll be more to come as we get further the details of and impacts of that project. But it is a pulverized project where we're going to be essentially reconstructing the road. And anytime you do major construction, it's going to have certainly impacts. And there's a picture of the existing pavement, kind of the why we're out there. And you can kind of see there is a very small shoulder there now. So just instead of the 6, it will be 4. So that's where we're at right now.
And can you please remind us of the format for the in-person?
Yeah,
session?
ultimately, we may have a brief presentation, but ultimately, we that's kind of be a open house because we're going to do the more formal presentation on the virtual and record that so that we can post the recording to the project page, because we understand not everybody's has the availability.
Right.
So we like to do those recordings and put it on the project page. And Tiffany's on the project page. Anyone interested certainly can sign up and to subscribe to that project. And also that's available there too. I did want to follow up to the first speaker. Certainly we'll put in that request into our WCRC Fix It. You're our second set of eyes, so we appreciate you bringing forth that issue. That will essentially be assigned to our engineering, traffic, and safety folks to evaluate that intersection and some of the issues that you raised there. So thank you for that. Any other questions?
I'll let Gloria.
Commissioner Yamas?
I know that you have put a lot of thought into the Workner Road project, but the data that he's speaking about, federal project page or from 2015, a factor in safety. I know that our engineering crew look at that also, right?
Absolutely. Yep. And we will we'll certainly be updating the board. The plan is we have a working session for next meeting on the 20th that we can give you an update. I'm not prepared to speak to all those issues right now, but on the 20th we will be.
Okay, and I have one more question. I know that, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The Weber and Dell Road, and this is probably to that comment, but the data center that if it goes in, looks like it will go in.
On Dell Road?
No, in Scioto Township. It'll be next over.
Okay.
We're right between Austin and US 12.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the way that they will impact the roads, they will have to go get permits through the road commission, correct?
The proposed data center, as I understand it, is in Saline Township and it's off of US 12. So they do not need permits from us. And
Okay,
we are not involved in any land use decisions. And
Oh,
if they
great.
won't require a permit, then it's not an issue that we can really weigh in on.
okay, because it's not Washtenaw County, is that correct?
It is Washtenaw County, but it is an MDOT roadway, which they're accessing. So the permits which they would need for their driveways would be the state of Michigan.
Thank you.
No problem.
Commissioner McCollum?
Yes, Madam Chair. I also, when we have that session, working session, if you could, get the history of the crashes that are on Wickner, I would like to know about that.
Absolutely. We
Thank
can
you.
review that.
Anybody else? And I think when the virtual information session, it's not a public hearing, it's an informational session.
Correct.
As well as the open house format, where there will be large posters, it's stations. People who attend the public information session will be having an opportunity to speak with the engineers and the other staff people in charge of the project to answer questions.
We want to make sure the public certainly can give input, but also receive answered all their questions. So we'll have a number of staff that's present where we can talk one-on-one, understand the impacts of particular parcels or the whole road segment, where we'll be prepared to discuss it at that point.
I just want to be clear, people's expectations when they hear public information session, what they hear is a public hearing. And those are very different
Yes,
types of engagement.
agreed.
Commissioner Yamas?
Madam Chair, to what you were saying also, and people, the open house, the one that I attended last time, confused it for another presentation, and not another presentation will be there. Remember when people came to the
In
Dexter?
Dexter, yes.
Right. There were a number of residents who came who thought they were going to see the same presentation that was provided at the virtual.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we actually had that presentation running, the slideshow.
Yes.
So we have the slides running so they can see the information, and then we have multiple staff there if they've got questions on the slides. And then we'll also have the recording quite likely posted at that point.
Right, but I think that their expectations, it would be an explanation.
Yeah.
If they want a deeper explanation, please attend the virtual.
Right. Yep.
Meeting.
And I will, at that public meeting, the in-person one, I'll explain that from the get-go. So we'll have a brief talk at the beginning, but it is an open house, so people can come from 6 until the time period. I think we had that set up for an hour.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything further? No, okay. We will move on to our consent agenda, new business. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 6 as presented? The motions are on pages 17 through 20, the background on pages 21 through 30.
So move.
Second.
Any of those items commissioners wish to hear more about at this time? Seeing none, Shelby, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum,
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the consent agenda items 1 through 6 are approved as presented. We have no action items before us today. We'll move on to the reports of the road commissioners, starting with Commissioner Smurs.
No report at this time.
Commissioner Green,
No report at this time.
Commissioner McCollum,
No report at this time.
Commissioner Yamas.
No report at this time.
Well, I will report that on December 20th of 2025 and January 3rd of 2026, I attended the Dexter Forum. The attendance was pretty heavy on December 20th, not so much on January 3rd. We'll move on to staff reports and updates. Staff reports appear on pages 31 through 42. Mr. Managing Director, if you would, please.
Thank you, Chair. Any questions on the reports and updates? We had the finance report, the HR quarterly report, and the IT report contained in the board packet. Any questions on that?
Commissioner McCollum.
Not a question. I just wanted to make a comment. When we had the high winds, right in front of me, a pine tree was very tall and thin, and it fell over on the street. Well, it didn't completely fall over on the street, but it was bending as the wind was flowing, and it was very frightening. I thought a car was going to get crashed or it was going to fall on someone. And I contacted the road commission, and it said if it's an emergency to call, which I did.
Mhm.
And within minutes, somebody was out there taking care of it. It was so quick. It was like they were waiting on the side of the road. I was glad.
Been already out there.
Out there, yeah.
It's a case where that's good that we were able to provide such quick,
Yeah.
prompt service. But we had a lot of folks, particularly our foreman and some of the crews were called in because of a lot of debris and whatnot with those high winds. So I know over the course of the last couple of weeks, our crews spent a lot of time after hours, whether they're battling winter maintenance or picking up from Mother Nature. There was a lot of hours expended, and a big thank you to the crews for that.
So thank you for that. That's the safety. For the
Yeah, and
people.
that's our second set of eyes. So we really appreciate that. I know that's a coined phrase for our communication team, but it works really well because having that call in and then getting directly to
Mhm.
our answering service who dispatches to our foreman in the area can get out
Mhm.
there and evaluate things quickly.
Mhm.
Sure. Anything else for Matt? Commissioner, are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Are you waving? Commissioner Yamas?
The HR report, it looks like we hired 6 heavy truck drivers and had 1 retired heavy truck driver. Is that correct?
We are down to, we were back in September, I think near 10 vacancies, and now we're down to 5, which is outstanding.
Okay.
We've done the HR team, Nicole and Alicia and Adam and his staff who evaluate a lot of the applicants, done a great job in bringing on some new and highly qualified individuals. We're very excited. In fact, a gentleman started yesterday that was able to welcome, and he's now in District 2. So that is a very good sign, and one that when you look at the cycles for our industry after the construction season, we find a lot of folks kind of looking around for different opportunities, and we were able to take advantage of that this fall and bring on a lot of well-experienced folks. So that is a good thing. So our retention rate is at 98%, and we were able to bring on several folks and make offers to some really good qualified applicants. So it was very good.
Commissioner
Great.
Green?
Yes. On the HR report, is a light truck driver the lowest job classification we have?
No, that isn't.
It's not.
It is labor. Currently, we are not, don't have the means to do a labor position currently. But usually what happens is in the springtime, we repost that labor position. And then ultimately that person would go through our CDL policy. Basically, we would send them to classes to get upgraded to a heavy truck driver. The ultimate goal is to drive our heavy trucks.
Right.
Do also hire light truck drivers and then make it a contingency within a year that they go through CDL training. So labor is the lowest to answer question is the classification, then it's light truck driver, then heavy truck driver, and so on. So,
And I'm assuming that the requirements for a light truck driver are rather minimal.
you still have to have a commercial license. It's just the B license.
Oh, you
rather
do?
Than the A.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
You bet.
Commissioner McCollum?
Yeah, I meant to mention, congratulations for Jared Kempo, who completed the CDLA program. Now, is that heavy? He's going into heavy?
He
truck?
actually is one of our facilities workers.
Mm.
So he's on the facilities team, but they help out with winter maintenance as well.
Okay.
That does allow him, if he chooses later on, if he wanted to bid on a heavy truck driver position, that comes available. But right now he's happy on our facilities team, and we're happy to have him.
Okay.
I want to add my compliments to Ms. Peterson and her team for the Q4 report from HR. There's a lot of information here that I'm sure took a number of hours to compile and arrange in a format that we could make sense of. So thank you, Nicole, for doing that. I really appreciate it. I know it was a request that we made last summer,
Yep.
maybe? And it's a huge help and a great improvement. Thank you. All right, Matt.
All right, we'll get to our department head reports. So right first out of the gate is Mr. Schlack with the engineering report.
Hello, good afternoon. Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering. So I just have a few updates. First, starting with the Parker and Shield traffic signal project. This is a federal aid carbon reduction project. So we had a project announcement for this project, and we'll be looking to put a traffic signal at that intersection. And actually, work will begin next week for this project. So there's also a more recent. So we put out the announcement, and then we put out the update that work will begin for this project, which will help with our future project of the Island Lake Dexter Main Street corridor project, because part of this will be along that detour. So this signal will definitely help with that detour.
So Brent, is that a split face? Is that just a straight up, how?
I'm not sure how we'll be operating that.
Yeah.
Right, but it will have, it has center left turn lanes
Yeah.
along Parker Road and,
And Shield.
and Shield, correct. So I'm not sure how traffic and safety will look to operate that. I do believe they have the flashing yellow arrow for southbound Parker planned.
Mhm.
So it should then help with the efficiency of that intersection.
Will it be a smart signal?
It will be a smart signal, yes. So when Chair Fuller refers to a smart signal, that means we'll have detection at that intersection, which will be then operated based on the demand that shows up at the intersection. We'll also be able to talk to that intersection and provide updates remotely to that intersection.
And just for clarification, it is a T intersection.
Correct.
Right.
So it's a essentially the T. Shield dead ends into Parker, and then Parker's both north and south of
Right.
Shield. So there's the picture. Thank you, Tiffany.
But it can be really complicated, I would guess, at beginning and ending of the school day, and then during special events, it's a school and.
It will actually help free up the congestion.
Yeah.
Because when dismissal happens,
Yeah.
as you can imagine, everyone has to stop. And if you've got a green phase, it will help to alleviate some of that congestion. But certainly that's a much needed project. And like you said, ahead of the closure for the
Yeah.
summer, that will be well utilized.
Yes, yeah, yep.
Thanks.
Uh-huh. Our next project announcement is Workner Road between Sibley and M52, which was brought up earlier. So we sent out the project announcement for this. This is a millage project. And again, as Matt had mentioned earlier, our public meetings are scheduled for February 9th. That's our virtual public meeting. And then our open house in-person meeting will be on February 11th at City of Chelsea Council Chambers. As far as upcoming public meetings, we do have a public meeting next week. That's for our countywide hot mix asphalt, our HMA resurfacing projects throughout the county. Those are for both paved and unpaved roads. We have approximately 30 miles of resurfacing that we'll be performing next year throughout the county. So that's next Wednesday, January 14th at 11 a.m. That'll be our virtual public meeting. Then as far as project updates, our Island Lake and Dexter Main Street corridor project, forestry work will begin later this week for that project.
And that public meeting's already taken place.
That, yes, we've had both a virtual public meeting and an in-person public meeting, which was referenced earlier.
Yes, I just want to make sure.
Yes, yep.
We're well aware, public's been informed of that project, and also we plan to have a construction meeting once we get a contractor.
Correct. Yeah. So we just got the final submittal to MDOT, submitted just this previous couple of weeks. And so we're looking at like a March, maybe an April bid letting. We're hoping that it'll make it into the March bid letting. So once we understand who that contractor is, we'll schedule that construction public meeting to inform the public who that is and what the schedule is for that construction.
And just a reminder, commissioners, oftentimes we have to do the tree removals ahead of our contract with the road builder because of the environmental restrictions on tree removals.
Yes.
We can only do tree removals from essentially October to beginning of April.
Right. Yeah, that's for the bats and the birds and the other
Native
wildlife
species.
that could be nesting within those, well, within, there's a certain period of time that we aren't able to cut the wood. And that's basically April through September. So we have to take advantage of that window of October through April to down trees and brush. So aside from that, I would currently, I guess I would recommend those that want more information on our projects. We have updated our website with all the project for 26, and Tiffany and her team have done an excellent job of putting all the tiles on there. We are working still for the 27 and 28, but those will be updated here hopefully in the next couple weeks. And then we'll be able to have a similar look to it that was in 26. So we're slowly populating those out years, but 26 is complete. Tiffany's pointing to, so you can click on the maps. So this is the actual map that our GIS managers looked at. Alan Squire, him and I have worked on preparing these maps. So this is for 27. This is the work that we have planned for 27. And we also have a map plan for 28. Some of the issues that we have whenever we have a static map like this is it's only as good as the day we generate it. That's why the interactive map on our website will be more of a go-to than just the regular paper map.
And the 26 map represents everything that is in our current budget. The 27 and 28 are essentially planned millage projects and also projects that are funded through federal or state funded funding sources. So,
yep.
So remind me the millage window again, the current millage.
It's 25, 26,
It is-
27, and 28 is the 4-year millage.
Yeah.
We have
This one.
our federal aid is programmed out through 29.
Okay,
and keep in mind the millage funds are collected the winter prior.
right.
So funds that are collected in 25 are expended in 26. So it's on your winter tax bill for the countywide. And then we essentially do the projects and then get reimbursed. It's a reimbursement program, sorry.
And what's currently mapped does not include the work that is to come on the annual agreements,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yet to be determined with the
Correct.
townships.
Yes,
So
thank
if-
you for bringing that up.
My township, it's like, there's nothing happening.
Right, yeah.
That's because those agreements haven't yet been put in place.
Right. Once those are created and approved, then yes, they'll make it onto this map. And I will say that what you see in 26, it will change, with those additions, but we also potentially will have some subtractions that will move, to the 27 year, depending on, carryover, availability of contractors, what have you.
Okay.
That's why the interactive map will continue to update this as our quarterly budget reviews come through. Then we'll be able to update the map. We'll be able to add those township projects as well.
Right.
Okay, that concludes my report. Unless there's any
Question?
other questions.
Brett?
Okay, great, thank you.
Brent.
I want to thank Tiffany once again for adding the tab at the top that says townships. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. So
To help us find these.
we're working on the local road funding packets. That's one of the things we do this time of year.
Mhm.
Our goal is to get it out in February, and then it'll get posted to all of our township pages. When we enter into agreements, those agreements then also go on our township pages so that people can see what projects are agreed to for local road investment. And then it makes it to our project page as well. So multiple ways you can find information, and always call if you have questions.
So the annual agreements don't get posted on the website until the board approves them?
Correct.
Right? So
Right.
there might be some lag time?
So the township
Okay.
board has to approve them, then it comes to this board for approval. After we get approval here, then they go up on the
Right.
website.
So if someone's in a township meeting and they think it's all done,
Right.
there's one more step.
One more step.
Okay.
Usually the township goes first, then the road commission.
Okay.
All right, next up, Dan Ackerman.
You're our closer.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's good to change it up a little bit, right? Yeah. Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance. Happy 2026 to all of you.
Thanks, Dan.
So my apologies, we were waiting on the state of Michigan to get us the November Michigan Transportation Fund numbers. They did finally provide them, but it was after the board packet was provided to you. You should have received a separate sheet though on that. Awesome. I wish I had better news or numbers for you. But again, it makes me glad that we adjusted our expected 2025 Michigan Transportation funds down a little bit. So we were about 18% below what we received in November of 2024. And overall, we're close to flat, just a little over 1% higher from last year. So, you know, we kind of expected this. Keep in mind, December has all the marijuana collections in there. So depending on what that is, and that could change things one way or another. But hopefully that will maybe let us trend a little bit higher than we've been trending the last couple of months. And we can at least come in, you know, pretty close to our budget for that. So only time will tell. We'll probably know in a few weeks here what that number is. And then obviously starting in January, that's the new taxing mechanism. So we will see the impact of that. So the January receipts we won't receive until I'll get the numbers mid to end of February. So we will see the impact of that. And again, we adjusted our 2026 budget. We'll have a couple of months of history there. And if we need to adjust it again in the first quarter, we can. So any questions on any of that at all?
I just have one
Okay,
question.
Commissioner Yamas?
Once we get the December numbers, I see that we're still over, right? The 1.54 is not the money coming in differences.
Yeah, we're still trending a little higher than budget. Is that what you're?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Right.
Right, so possibly December will trend even higher, hopefully.
So again, the pattern has been about 17, 18% lower than the previous year's month. So if that pattern holds, it's going to be close.
Okay.
But we planned for that.
We planned.
knew
for it.
that was
Correct.
coming.
Yes.
With the switch in the
That
budget.
was kind of our last minute change that I, in a panic, said, hey, Matt, can we update everything at the last minute? And we did. So we shall see.
So we're not caught flat footed and like, oh my
Right.
gosh, what happened? Right.
Well, yeah, and we want to hopefully avoid having to make even a lot more changes in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it was, the good news is in January, starting this month,
Right.
we're gonna see a big increase. That's something to celebrate. But the bad news was the change occurred the fiscal year to now, we saw a dip. And
Because
so,
the date is October 1.
right, exactly.
Right.
So that dip, we were able to weather that storm. Hopefully year end will go better. We'll have the closing of year 2025 this month, and we'll be able to report probably first or second meeting in February, how that year end ended up closing out. And then hopefully we've got some good news to report there.
And this is because of the shift of the pay at the pump
Correct.
dollars,
Right.
right?
So
We had that window of
essentially the
October 1 to January.
sales tax has come off
Right.
as of January 1st, and it's been replaced by an additional 20 cents per gallon that goes into the Michigan Transportation Fund. So that's really welcome news. And then we're still waiting to hear. We have not heard from the state treasurer or MDOT on disbursements related to neighborhood roads fund.
Right.
Again, that's the corporate tax and the
Yep.
cannabis tax. Don't have any new information on that to report.
And typically around February of each year, the state's Office of Management and Budget, I believe, provides updated estimates of Michigan transportation funds. So hopefully there'll be some information from there as well. So we can see what impact they think this change will make. And they usually show out years as well. So hopefully that will help with our picture as far as where the finances are going. Any other questions about Michigan transportation funds? Besides that, we hit the ground running yesterday. And we did our annual physical inventory counts in the stock room. So both finance and operations worked on it, and really want to commend Jeff Mann, who works in the stock room back there, and everything is just in great shape, very organized. He's detail oriented. I was joking with Connie because this is her first time going through our physical inventory counts. So we get a variance report. So basically it shows what our computer shows and what we actually counted. And we provide that to Jeff. I'm focused on the dollars, of course. If there's big adjustments and say it's $1,000 or more, I'm kind of focused on those, but he focuses on everything. And so I'll send him the variance report and he'll provide it back to me, and he'll do spot counts and probably have like 20 to 50 changes. Again, financially, there's very minimal impact, but he wants to get it right. And so I commend him on that. We support that. It is a bit of work that we have to do, but we just want to encourage that. So he takes a lot of pride in the inventory back there. Has done a lot of things over the course of several years, trying to get obsolete items out of there, trying to barcode everything with descriptions on there. We have a partner with a mechanic or Jeff or Steve back there to make sure we know what we're counting. So, it's a pretty well-oiled machine, and there's probably 80 pages of items, and we get through it in a morning. So we're still in the process of that. We also do our bulk material counts, so salt and sand and all that for all of our yards. So we'll hopefully finalize that in the next day or two. But it's always a big thing we do around the first of the year. And of course, our auditors want to make sure we're doing that. We do spot counts through the course of the year, of course. It's always good, say after we come out of winter, we should do spot counts of salt and sand and so on. So staff's really good at doing that as well. So, but it's nice to get that out of the way. And just a lot of year-end things we're doing. We finalized all the monthly, quarterly, and year-end reports for payroll, and we were able to archive payroll for 2025 and set it up for 2026. So there's definitely a lot there. We're also working on accounts payable, doing the same thing, accounts receivable. Connie's been helping me with getting things ready for our audit. They usually give us a list of about 50 things that the auditors would like to see. And Connie's already prepared some things and submitted to the auditors. The goal is to just almost drown them with information, give them everything they need as quickly as possible, and get through the audit as quickly as we can, of course. They plan on being on site the first week in February. So as we've shared before, it's a tight window for us, but we've been through it a few years, so we'll be ready. And it's really nice having Connie here to kind of help move things along, and that's kind of in her wheelhouse. We really like the fact that she was not only heavily involved on the government side with audits, but she also was on the other side as far as with an audit team. So just a lot of great experience with audits, which has been very helpful. So yeah, I think I mentioned it last time, it's still kind of our busy season, but just trying to get done with 2025, move on to 2026, and then get ready for an audit. So, and that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Tax forms gone out?
Yeah, we'll be working on those. Yep. We have until the 31st of January.
Okay.
I'm surprised no one has asked me for their W-2 yet. Usually the first day back, I'm asked, can we have our W-2s?
That's what everybody does over Christmas break, Dan.
Right, exactly. Obviously, we want to make sure that they're correct and that there are no issues with it. But in the next, hopefully, week or two, we'll get those out to staff. I mean, I'm a finance guy, but I'm not ready to do my taxes yet. But some employees are on it. They want to get that knocked out, which I appreciate. So. Also, there has been a change with the Affordable Care Act. Employers are no longer required to provide the 1095-C forms anymore. And so we are going to take advantage of that. but we have to post something on our website to our workforce that says they are available upon request. And again, basically those forms, just as a refresher, those forms basically say, yes, my employer is providing me health insurance. When you do your taxes, there's literally a box to check that says, yes, I have health insurance. Anyway, so we're no longer, we are no longer required to provide it to our employees. We still have to provide the information to the IRS, of course.
To provide the form,
The form.
not the insurance.
Right, yes, the
Okay.
form. Thank you. Yes. Big difference there, right?
Yeah.
So, and we'll make sure we communicate that to our employees several ways. But, and again, if somebody really wants the form, we just have to be able to provide it in a reasonable amount of time, which we will. So yeah, it's, tax season for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Questions for Dan? I'm sorry, were you finished?
Yeah. I'm
You
finished.
sounded
It's
like
just-
you were.
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody good? All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dan.
That's all we had to report.
What about Adam?
Oh, Adam, I guess.
Yeah, you thought you got out of it.
I was cut you off. That's
Make the
first.
I was halfway out the door.
Usually, we have to pull a string.
Yeah, I was halfway out the door. I didn't even need to get the hook.
Actually, what I meant to say is last but not least.
Yeah, yeah.
The star of the show and
Thanks.
certainly operations crew can't be forgotten.
Yeah, pretty.
Because they were vital over the last few
Yeah.
weeks, and very busy. So Adam, take it away.
Yeah, pretty busy. Adam Lake, Director of Operations. Relatively short update, just in the realm of the fact that the Great Lakes haven't frozen yet, and maybe here in the next week or two.
A lot of snowmobilers have been surprised by
Yeah,
that.
so that's kind of, the freeze, the thaw has kind of been up and down for us, so it's kind of led over the, we'll call it the winter break period, we work early morning hours. It kind of leads some clearing, the clear skies, so to speak, things clean up. We go home, and by the afternoon, it'd kick up a little bit, whether it be wind or sun induced, and then we'd come back. So yeah, we were certainly here for some of the wind events, doing snow and ice at baseline, but then also responding to some of the trees, and kept ourselves pretty busy. So been a long couple of days, but everybody's doing good. Equipment hang in there as best they can, and we're kind of ready for more. But there you get a couple pictures here and there. I didn't do my normal or get out and get good videos because they'd pretty much finish, and then we'd come back, and then they'd go back home and have to come back. And we really bounced around a little bit more than we have the past few years during this time of year. Normally it's cold enough. We get an event, we work all day, we finish it, we're able to go home, but this is a little up and down. So no complaints for some of the mild temperatures, that's okay to work with material wise, but got cold a little bit here and there where it was windy. But as you can see, kind of that morning there, it was pretty windy, finishing out the day. And it was kind of dark all the way and stayed dark until almost lunchtime that day. So I believe that was Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, that kind of the picture you're seeing here, where it was just real low light and just nothing really wanted to, melt for us. So took a little bit of time, used some of our abrasive material as opposed to some of the salt that we normally do, and made it work. But brings us to today, and like I say, equipment's good, people are healthy, so we're one step at a time, kind of working to the next event. That's really all I had. If anybody has any questions, I can kind of help walk you through it. Material wise for the season, pretty much at our average, what we kind of consider average now. We've used 10 or 12,000 tons of salt, the better part of 100,000 gallons of liquid brine, and then probably a few thousand tons of some of the abrasive materials. That's a combination of grit and sand and materials like that, or mixed together with salt. Just keeping ourselves going. It's been an okay year, it's just been kind of up and down. So a little bit different than what we've seen the past few years, where it was just warm and kind of non-existent to very cold. It got cold early, and then that little heat up before the holidays, before the Christmas holidays, put a little bit of challenge in the road just with some of the potholing and soft shoulders, because everything started to kind of thaw itself out again and get wet. So trying to work surface maintenance best we can, but pretty limited right now with just this up and down freeze thaw that we're working through.
Commissioner Yamas?
You talk pretty quick. I was trying to take.
Sorry,
some
no, that's okay.
notes. Yeah, you were talking about salt and sand, and I
Mhm.
did wonder because the roads were horrible. New Year's Day, New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
Like how much we went through, and are we still using brine when it gets like this?
Yep. So those days, I think New Year's Day was one of the colder days that we had the past, 2-3 weeks. So we used some abrasive that day as opposed to just straight salt and brine, just because I think we were below 23 degrees. So it's a little less effective to use salt and brine at that point. So we just use our abrasives and then wait until we can come back at either a different day or later in the day when it either warms up or gets sun out, and then add the salt to it with the brine to burn that material off, burn that snow and ice off. Usage wise, those days, I didn't pinpoint the days. We pulled our numbers this week from November 1st until essentially, I think, yesterday. And so that's kind of where I got that 10,000 tons, 12,000 tons of material we've used in total. That's the trunk lines, all the county roads, the subdivisions, everything. So I didn't really break it down, but I can pull out a little bit more if you want those days.
Are we ordering more? Do we have enough or?
Yeah. So our Southeast Service Center was the lowest of our opinions. And so we moved some salt to there. We moved salt to the District 3 yard as well. Those are smaller buildings. So we just shuttled some salt from here to there. But we have, I believe, 6,000 tons or so on order that are coming in as we speak. Here at this yard, the Southeast Service Center is getting material today as well. So we just kind of keep ordering as we go. So we have what we need to keep things going.
Right.
And then the brine, we have quite a bit of that on hand, but we can order the liquid brine as well. And then next week, we'll probably start ordering backfilling the grit. So that's the abrasive materials. We brought some sand in a few weeks ago. Now we found grit that we're, comfortable with. So we'll order quite a few thousand tons of that to build that pile back up. We usually order that once every 2 to 3 years. So we're able to capitalize on some relatively affordable cost per ton. But it's hard material to find because it's a byproduct that we like to use. So we're only lucky to find it every couple of years. So found some Monday of this week. So we'll start ordering that in to build our pile for the next couple of winters.
And that came to mind because I was on the roads on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, going to the airport, and it was like black ice everywhere. I did see our trucks out, but I wondered,
Yeah, so that day they worked early morning shift. Everybody was done about lunchtime, 11 o'clock that morning. And then by 3:30, 4 o'clock that afternoon is when that lake effect kicked back up. So we had to bring people back in. And then I think it continued. We got another inch or so overnight and kind of sporadic. Wasn't very consistent throughout the county. Some of the days in Manchester, we had 2-3 inches of snow they plowed. And here we were just treating roads. So it was a little hit and miss compared to normal this time of year.
Thank you.
Yep.
You
had raised your hand. Okay.
Actually, that answered my question. I was gonna ask the same question as Commissioner Yamas.
Okay.
My thanks to whoever took care of the double bottom that went sideways on Sharon Valley Road at the bridge.
Yes, I don't know which one of our lucky members had to be down there.
As the light failed,
Yes,
he was overweight, claims there's no sign. For the record, there is a sign
that is
at
correct.
Myers and Sharon Valley.
Shellac does have one of those up for us.
Whoever was driving that truck back down the hill, spread a lot of grit and some salt, and eventually they got that double bottom hauled out of there. But so whoever that was, please thank them. They were there and stuck with
I'll
it
tell
and
Yeah, we'll tell Rourke.
got
We
that
had,
poor guy out. And if
Yeah.
Chris Quinter can talk to Google so that these guys know when a bridge is weight restricted, this poor
Yeah, that
kid
would be nice.
swore there was no signs. He says, I know I'm overweight. And we're like, you just need to.
that's a long way to be off the paved road to find your way all the way there.
So
Yeah, I will pass it on.
please tell Rourke and his team, thank you.
All right, we will do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I think that completes our reports.
Commissioners, anything to add this time? No, okay. We'll go into reminders, January 20th. As Matt said, we have a working session that starts at 9, followed by a board meeting at 1. Our weekly chats tomorrow, Commissioner Smers. A week from that day, January 14th, I'm on call. Commissioner Green, January 21st. Commissioner Yamas, January 28th. If there's no further business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Shelby, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum,
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, we are adjourned to music. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.